if 80% roughly of an SME business owner's wealth is tied up in their business, they think that's their pension. The risks of not getting optimum value for that business and exiting it through some form of sale process, whether that be, an MBO, whether it be an EOT, whether it be a sale to a third party that's in the trade, a strategic buyer or a financial buyer, you've really got to understand what's important to you personally, in order to structure that business in such a way as to be attractive to hopefully more than one type of acquirer, and ultimately create real competition to get the value at the end of the process.
God forbid you're having to sell because of ill health, and all of a sudden you're realizing all these things as you look into it. Actually, the business is nowhere near ready to sell.
And I think, the most disheartening conversation I have, and it's one I have quite regularly, is when, we meet a business owner who says, can you help me ready my business for sale? And then we start to talk about, well, what's your timeline? And they say, well, within the next 6 months. And as we'll, I'm sure, touch on in a bit, the process is longer than that. Most businesses are not sale ready, even if they are run really well, because they're often run for maximum earnings or drawings on behalf of the shareholders, and that doesn't necessarily mean they're run and structured in such a way as to make them saleable. And so sometimes we have to unravel a lot of things in order to put the business in a position where it's optimized for sale purposes. And going back to your earlier question, it takes time, and really the ideal, albeit hackneyed, sort of phrase is it's never too early to start readying your business for sale. Unfortunately, most of us don't do that simply because we don't know what that means. And so it's never too early to start planning. So if some of your listeners are thinking about the fact that, well, this doesn't really apply to me because I've got no plans to sell my business anytime soon. Actually, I think it does apply, because you don't want to spend loads of time, money and effort unraveling some of that stuff